Are you 55 years or older and considering making a move to Jacksonville, Florida? Having all kinds of questions online about 55 and over community housing? Could you live in one? Well, stick around. In today's video, I'm going to cover all the questions that you have been asking. Thanks so much for sticking around, friends. My name's Nicole Smith. I'm a realtor here in Jacksonville, Florida. And in today's video, I want to answer all these questions. Now, as you may know, I am a realtor here in Metro Jacksonville, and I have my SRES, which means I am certified real estate specialist for seniors. So I have gone through the courses. I know exactly what you all are needing, looking for, and even with my own very family and customers, I have also come across some great information that I want to share with you today. What I wanted to share with you is the number one inquiry is now a good time to buy or sell? Well, to give you a little information about the current real estate market here in Jacksonville, Florida, we are in a balanced market heading towards a buyer's market in most communities. Our inventories are quite high right now, so we are staying on average on the market for 40 plus days, and homes are selling for a little bit under asking. So for buyers, this is really a good opportunity. Not to say it can't be for sellers as well, but because there's a little bit more inventory right now, that means that you have more choices. Now with choices, that means you need someone like me to guide you through the process. You want to know what is the best choice for you, and you need someone who has not been emotionally attached to the outcome to help and guide you through the process. And that's where hiring a realtor is beneficial to the consumers, to the buyers, and to the sellers. So when you're looking for a community to live in, you might want to go with your realtor and tour that community. Getting all the information ahead of time is very, very important. Not every 55 and over community is the same. Some are quite luxurious, very high end, and the starting points are in the 500,000 range, going up into the millions. And there are others starting in the $100,000 range that may not have all the bells and whistles. We have homes that are condos, there are townhomes, there are villas, and there are standalone homes. All these options are available in 55 and over communities. And across the board, the one thing most of them do have in common is they will only allow youngsters under the age of 18 to have a very minimal amount of sleepovers. So keep that in mind if you are considering making a move to a 55 and over community. They also allow a percentage of people to be under 55 and over community. So even if you're not quite 55, you may want to consider making the move. Now, when you're getting closer to retirement, you're probably an empty nester. It should make sense to you that you would want to downsize. Why would you want to downsize? Well, one, there's less house to clean, less yard hopefully to maintain, and hopefully you'll have a simpler life. When you have less work to do around the house, that means you could go out and enjoy life a little bit more. So downsizing could be very, very good option for you. If your children are gone, maybe they're already in college, or maybe they're already married. Sometimes having that big house isn't necessary. And depending on how long you've lived there, you might have quite a bit of equity. So selling it off and getting that money and then buying a new house it may be free and clear for you. So that is an option you would want to look at. Now, what should you look for? Well, some of the 55 and over communities have a lot of activities. They have clubs. Some of them are much quieter, and most of them are very private. Most of them are gated. Most of them have someone who helps you with entertainment, and a lot of interesting events happen that if you want to get involved, you can get involved. You're more outgoing than your partner is, then you're not going to feel so uncomfortable going to those outings, and you're going to make some really good friends who are like-minded, who are living in this community. So depending on your range of ages and your activity level, some of the communities may interest you more than others based on who already lives there and some of the activities they offer. So this is why it's important to tour quite a few different communities, and that is something I really love doing. And maybe you've seen some of my videos. If not, check out this one or check out that one, because I have toured a lot of 55 and over communities, and they are not all the same, but they all have something very special to offer. So you may be wondering, how much is your current home worth? Well, that is something that as a realtor, I can definitely assist you with. We do what we call a comparative market analysis. We look at all the data and show you what the going value is of your home based on your upgrades, based on recent sales, and based on your land. There's very, very many factors that we look at, and each home is different from the other. So it's a very important step to hire me as your realtor so I can come out and give you a very, very accurate assessment of what I think the value of your home is. And even if you're not ready to make a move, at least it gives you an insight of what the current value is today. And yes, this number is fluid, so it may change. But the way things are going, prices are only softening slightly for those homes that were already overpriced. Right now, the market is still showing an uptick in pricing. So thinking you're going to keep waiting and waiting, it may not be a great option for you, because the prices are going to continue to rise. Now, another question I often get is, can I age in place or should I move? Well, you know what? Sometimes aging in place is a perfectly great decision. You have to modify your home, make sure, for example, that you get some grab bars, that you have ramps, that maybe you've converted some of your bathtubs, and you do some retrofitting. And you know what? Having someone like myself let you know what your pros and cons are with that option, it is a good idea. So I'm an honest realtor, and if it is in your best interest, they put an age in place, I would absolutely recommend that for you. So what about your finances? Well, after you turn 55, you may or may not be collecting any type of retirement fund, because Social Security, you're not really going to collect it till you're older. So more than likely, if you're closer to the beginning of 55, you may still be working. So I would say you would probably already qualify for a conventional loan. And if you're in the latter parts of your aging process, you may even consider what they call a reverse. And that's grabbing the equity out of your mortgage and starting to use it to live on. So when you go to sell it when you're older, or perhaps after you pass away, the money will be paid back to what you've already grabbed. So it is an option. If that's your biggest asset and that's where you have money, it could be a great option for you. And I do have some wonderful lenders that I work with that can help conventional loans, reverse mortgages, and even some creative financing. So when it comes to financing options for 55 and over, I know some great people that can help you, and I can point you in the right direction. Always good to have a network and a team of people. Another question we often get is, should I rent out a room or invest in a duplex? Well, with the cost of living rising, it may make a lot of sense to get a bigger home, maybe a 3-bedroom, and rent out one of the rooms. A lot of people are having a hard time right now affording their own apartment. So if they could rent a room from you and save money, and you could make some money, it could be a win-win. You just have to make sure that you understand your zoning laws and realize you're going to give up some of your privacy factors. And, sometimes it's a little tricky when you have someone living with you. So really think about that and picking the right person. And buying a duplex, that's a great option. You can live on one side and rent out the other. There are even some new construction villas for sale, and they are even in 55 and over. So you can buy both sides if that is what your plan is. It might work out quite well for you. And in the counties here, you could get probably $2,700 and up for a 3-bedroom villa. It might work out really well for you. So that is something to definitely consider. And you know what? Not everyone is ready to make a move right now. I understand. And you're on here getting information, and that actually is a great thing. And if today's not the right time, no worries. It is never too soon to reach out to me and set up a consultation. So whether you're considering this in 2 months or 2 years, I'm going to leave a link below to my calendar, and we can just set up a nice call just to go over all the options that you may have. I would most definitely love to be your go-to realtor here in the Metro Jacksonville, Florida area. And if there are any questions that hit home and you'd like to get a resource from me, I have a complimentary downsizing guide. And if you want to leave me a message or send me an email, I'll leave you all that information, and you just request the downsizing guide and I will send it over to you. And it is going to be quite useful. So I know this is just a short synopsis of what I am offering to answer these questions for you today, but I feel like giving you just a little hint here and there about what it really takes to downsize is very important. I've done a recent video about decluttering, and even if you're not considering moving, decluttering is always a good idea. So make sure you go check out that video if you haven't seen it yet. But like I said, if you're subscribing to my channel, hopefully you're getting the notification. I just love doing these videos, adding value to you, and really trying to answer the questions that you have been inquiring about online. My name's Nicole Smith, and I am a realtor here in Metro Jacksonville, and I will serve anywhere from Fernandina Beach all the way down to Palm Coast. And you know what? There's a lot of communities in a 55 and over community from those communities, and I have toured quite a few, so make sure you check them out. And like I always say, life is too short not to love where you're living. And I am living the dream here in Metro Jacksonville, Florida, and I would love for you to be my neighbor. Bye for now, friends, and thanks for watching.